Okay, gentlemen, I'm going to do a quick off-season tutorial here so you can get through the stuff that we're doing in the off-season. This is actually, in my opinion, some of the funnest part of this game, especially since we're not playing the games out, is this is your chance to really mold what kind of a team you have. So this is where we are in our season. Why is that thing blinking at me? All right, this is where we are in our season. We just ran that arbitration day yesterday, and now we have our off-season day one is going to be run later today. So we've already got the arbitration numbers have already come in. So now we're going to put in our free agent bids, and we'll get our first chance to see what's going on in free agents. This schedule is always, I mean, there's a lot going on here. It's complicated, but it is, if you look through it, it kind of tells you what it is we're trying to do each day. And I do use this as my own guideline to keep myself. Remember, you don't have to worry about bookmarking or anything. If you just go to this main page, it's always there in the sim schedule. And I show you what we just did and what's coming up next. Speaking of that, Pirates around the clock in the rookie draft. So, and we're getting to the point here on the rookie draft where the guys are pretty weak, so I know for me, I'll probably make one more pick and then put it on auto. There's only 8 rounds anyway, and it doesn't go into our game until the 31st. But if once you get to the point where you don't care about a guy anymore or any of the guys anymore, just put it on auto. All right. So that's the schedule. So here we are, is we're doing free agents. Winter meeting is just that's more just of making it sound fun the way it does in real life. It doesn't really matter how much of the trades. I do think the CPUs maybe offer a few more trades, but um, this is this is the time that we have these trade windows, and we'll end on trades. So I sent that to you guys yesterday, but I just want to make sure I walk through it and you know how to do it. All right, so let's go back to the money, figure out where we are on the money. In fact, let me get to the right league because I was actually in the workaround league. So let's be in the real league. Nothing more entertaining than watching load. Okay. All right. And I'm going to be Troy again because that's easy. All right. So here I am with my overall finance, and if you saw the other video, these are the two numbers. This is this year's how much money I have, and next year. Uh, in the other video, I talked about how it switched over that delineation on the when it goes to the preseason date, but it looks like they've changed that now. It actually goes on the free agent filing date. So the official fiscal year 2020 ended now. We're in 2021. So that's what this money is for this year, and then that's money for next year. That's how much he's got available. Now, these numbers can also change because you've got player development funds, you've got all these things. You can change any of this. If I, knock this down to 14 instead of 24, which seems high anyway because the recommended is 13, that's going to give me that extra 10 there. So all of these numbers affect each other. And this is just that was a draft budget. Here's the international amateur budget. There's the development, how fast they get better, scouting. So you can play with all those numbers as needed. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll lower those numbers as I'm pursuing a good free agent. I get the guy, all right, I'm going to have to suffer here. But if I don't get the guy, I'll bump it back up because I'm not going to spend that money on another guy that's not worth it. All right, so there's my money. I've got to figure out what I want to do. I'm at my team, and one of the best ways to do it is use this team position rankings. A lot of different things are down here. I usually go here, and it gives you a real nice look. It's like, all right, well, I'm doing okay, but left and right field are not so good. So I'm going to go into the free agents, and a million ways to get there. I can go up this way to transactions and this things, but I typically go right here to the league and then to there. You can offer here, but I like free agents. All right, so now I'm in the free agents, and right now it's filtered on second base, but I need outfielders. And then this screen has some good information, but I created my own screen for free agent that has way better information. So what this does is this gives me the overalls, all the ratings, last year's stats, what his demand is, even when he was picked in the draft. And the way I did this is real easy. You just go in here and you can make changes to whatever you want, and it'll just add it here. And then you can even, move them up there and do however you want to get that information. Just about anything that you could possibly want in there can get in there, and then you just save that view as whatever you call it, and that'll be your new view. I don't want to save the view because I was just putting bullshit in there and we want the actual stuff. All right. So what do we say his? Oh, and actually, I was gonna go back. I forgot his. It shows his money here. Talking about 39 million to spend. So Clemente's too expensive. So I'm gonna, and I need two guys. So let's say here we go. Tim Raines, he's 10 million. So I'm gonna right click on him. And I'm gonna offer him a contract. So this is what he's asking for. If I'm happy with this and I think it's gonna get it, I can just hit click meet demand, and that's the offer will go. When you're playing, solo league and you click and it'll say he'll come back and say that's perfect, that's not enough. There's a back and forth. You don't get as much back and forth here because we're not simming day by day. We're simming, week by week. And so you sometimes have to go a lot higher. Plus, you're bidding. If you think more humans are going to bid for this, you're generally going to have to go higher. So you can change it however you want, and you even see how these numbers are not exactly the same. Sometimes, if I'm a little low on this number, I'll knock that down a couple, but then I'll knock this up quite a few more in the hopes that the overall will make him happy, but it won't cost me as much as it goes. But that also depends on these numbers. Sometimes you have more money now and less later as big extensions kick in and you want to go the other way. But you can fuss with this however you want. Just be sure you hit submit offer, not meet demand when you've made changes, because the submit offer is then things. Now, one of the things I've heard is, okay, well, I submitted, I don't know what happened. Yeah, it doesn't give you automatic feedback. That eventually will come back in emails, and because of how fast this goes, a lot of times the emails will go and it'll be already old information. But what you can do is when you go to these free agents, you look down here, it already tells you what all your pending offers are, right? So it tells you your offer, and then this one too gives you even more. It tells you what you offered him, and then where he stands on it. Pending means he hasn't decided yet. Favors offer means you have the best offer in. Wants more money means he's not signing for what you've offered him now. You're going to have to give him something else. But while an offer is in pending or wants more money or whatever, it's also tying that money up. So you won't have that money here available to get to somebody else. So if one guy is taking forever and you go to two different first basemen and one guy signs, the other's still out there, you're going to have to withdraw. Now he'll get mad and he probably won't sign with you at any point in the future because he's going to then think you're an asshole, but at least you won't be tiding that money up. So that's where you see where your existing offers are. And it shows you in a small way down here, but this gives you a lot more information there. So that's where I would go to figure out that. And then once you send in your offers and they start to go, you'll get some feedback in here, and it'll tell you, hey, he wants some more. He wants these. Yeah, none of it had gone on long enough to go. All right. International free agents. So there's two different internationals. There's the international amateurs, which are the young guys that come in, and that's like July 2nd, and you have a specific budget for that, which is right here, and that's how that works in real life. It's 5.2 million. I think in real life it's 5 million. And there's typically some good young players there that haven't developed yet. These guys, these international, just regular free agents, these guys come in, and it's like Ichiro coming in. They've already played half their career somewhere else, and sometimes there's some really good players in here. This particular crop looks kind of shitty, but there is ones that are good, and you can offer them right here, or you can go over here and you'll find them. They'll be mixed in with these guys. So either way works, but that's what the international guys mean. All right, and then once you've made all of your you've done all of your offers that you want to do, then you just export and it goes off to the thing. And when I run it, and some guys will start signing, and we'll go from there. All right, so that's on the siding. Now let's look at the trade workaround real fast. I wrote it up here. We're going to have 3 trade windows. It's not as easy as it should be, so I can't just open it up anytime. I have to do it specifically within the windows. So at the start of each window, I've got to do a new file and give us a way to do it, which is basically a mirror of the league, and I'll show you what the issue is. So right now, I'm Troy and I'm the Yankees, and I want to make a trade, and I want to get Jackie Robinson. All right, so right off the bat, if I go trade options, I don't have the option to trade for. I have not interested. That's my only option. All right, well, there's other ways to get the trade. I can go here. I got a player trade, and I go down to the Texas Rangers, and I find Jackie Robinson. Obviously, that's all a lot more of a pain in the ass, too. Let's check his salary. 17. I've got 39 million, so it should be okay. So I'm gonna try to make a terrible offer of lefty O deal. And what you see here, there's a couple things. The submit offer is grayed out, and my GM has an opinion. He thinks it's a great trade, but their GM there's nothing. It doesn't. They have no response. This is where we need the workaround. Now they should absolutely say no to this. They will say no to this because this is a terrible player for a great player. So that's why we can't use it within here. So we create the workaround, and then we'll do the exact same trade. Loading. All right. All right, so exact same trade. I am, you always got to make sure I'm already signed in as Troy. Make sure you're signed in as who you are. Now, I won Jackie Robinson. This time I don't have to go to all the other fuss to get him, though. I can just go, if I do it right, actions, trade options, trade for player. Now it puts him up there. I don't have to find the Rangers, find a thing. And who did I give? Lefty O'Doul. All right. Now, oh, okay, this is funny. The budget difference here, because in the other one, I had moved that money around and taken it off one of these things. So I had all this extra money. So let me just do that again so that the money is back to normal. Player trade. Damn it. All right, here we are. Lefty O'Doul for there. All right, so now the money is no longer a problem, right? Because they've got enough budget thing. My guy still likes it. They said it's my worst offer I've ever seen in my career, which makes sense. That is a terrible offer. All right, so what if I added Frank Schneider? Texas can't afford, so I'm going to have to retain. All right, so he's still insulted. My guy still likes it. I'm also going to throw in some money. He still doesn't like it. And then I'm going to throw in a draft pick. Still doesn't like it. All right. So I've tried to kind of manually work it now. I've got this nice little make this work now. Well, this does, he says, okay, out of everybody on your roster, if you add this guy, and it's not just what he wants, but it's also what the money works. Like if you do all this and the money doesn't add up, which is why I kept adding those things, then it won't work. But if you add any of these guys, you just click add. Now he's going to agree, right? So at that point, we don't hit complete trade. You could. It's not going to make any difference because this is a mirror copy. This is not in the league. But then I don't have the ability to process it. So what you're going to do is screen capture this. And the easiest way to that is just file, take a screenshot. 12. It comes up there. And then you just send me that file. Right. And then that way I get this file and I can go into the live and recreate it perfectly. In the off chance that, because as you can see, I have all the exact details, who the players are, what the money is, all that stuff, and then I can see that he's agreed to it. Because if this lights up, that means they've agreed. And he usually says something to, I like this, or I agree, or whatever. But let's say I'm doing that, and I go, yeah, I like that trade, but I actually decide I don't want to give up Elrod, right? I'm going to make a slight change. And so I'm going to see that's not who they wanted, but maybe now when I add him and I do this, it didn't work. Like this is the negotiation part where I'm trying to see what I can get away with. Maybe if he'll Jerry Varner. He liked that one. I didn't even need to make that one work. So apparently he liked that. So maybe you don't want that guy. Shit, I can get rid of just about everybody. So there you go. I kind of went backwards, and all of a sudden it turns out he just wants him, and he wants him. So that's kind of the way that you can negotiate those back and forth. And again, don't hit complete, hit screen capture, take the screenshot, send it to me, and off we go. I produce the trade. And if you don't like the trade, you don't have to send it in. This is just it's the negotiation thing. You go back and forth. All right. Hopefully that helped everybody. Now I got to get on a call, and I'll talk to you guys later.